The living room floor has arrived. So this is the before of the entry and living room. That is everything I swept off the stairs. I also put the living room rug down the basement stairway, and that's all the dirt that's left over from under the rug. So I'm gonna go ahead and sweep in the living room now. Same thing, I'm not actually gonna get rid of this furniture yet because it's just pouring outside anyway and it'll just sit out there and get wetter and heavier. But I am gonna move it around in the room so that I can sweep under everything and hopefully get, a lot of this dust and stuff out of here. And then when I get back next week, I'll start ripping up these floors and getting all the subfloors. If any of them need to be repaired, I'll do that first, but then I'm gonna paint everything in Kills and go from there. Living in a construction zone has looked something like this for me for the last several weeks, I guess actually a couple months now. So today what's going to happen is I'm going to move everything out of the living room so that I can go ahead and install this really nice vinyl flooring. It's sheet vinyl. It's really cushy. It's soft under the feet. I also have some area rugs coming, one for the living room, one for the bedroom. So I want to be sure to get the living room flooring in beforehand. The subfloor has been painted with Kills, and that's helped a lot with the German Shepherd smell. The couch I've been using is actually the seller's old couch. I didn't want to bring mine in until the room was a bit more ready. So that's actually going to go right outside. For now, I'm going to be bringing in the couch from the tiny house, which is much too small for in here, but it's going to work for now until I can get a new one in a few months. I'm also, using the living room partially as the kitchen because the kitchen is absolutely, for sure, the worst room in the whole house. And I don't want to prepare my food in there. So I've been, I've got kind of like my makeshift pantry over here with all my dishes. And then I've got all the food preparation appliances from the tiny house, and I've just been kind of making it work that way. Sorry for the mess. I've already started moving things around to get them out of the way, so it's a little, not at its best as well. So I'm going to start getting everything cleared out, and then I'll show you the process of laying down the floor. Where there's a will, there's a way. So that is an upside down ottoman that I draped that blanket over after Nigel used me as a parkour course and I spilled water on that blanket. And now he's decided that it's his new castle. So he's been laying on it while the blanket's been drying a lot of the evening. What are you doing up there, bud? Bubby. His ears are so funny. I don't know if you can tell, but this ear kind of flops forward and this ear flops backwards, in fact. It kind of looks in the camera like it's just sitting straight up, but the top part actually goes backwards. It's so funny. Oh, you can kind of tell when he's at the side. He's getting a lot bigger. And there's a precious girl. Are you cuddled in the blankie? taking a look around in the living room, I have painted everything below that trim has been painted. I know the lighting in here isn't the best, but these side walls are both white and this is an accent wall. And then same thing back here, same color white. It just, sometimes it looks like it's blue or gray on these walls, but it's not, it's white. The upper part of the wall and the ceiling, I'm having tested for asbestos because it is textured and this house was built in the 70s. That looks really weird on camera. It almost looks indented instead of pushed out. But anyway, it is very textured and I just want to be safe rather than sorry, but there's a lot of work to do up there. It's dirty for one. It needs to be painted and then there's some holes that need to be filled in. If it's asbestos, then it's also going to have to be removed first before I do all the rest of that work. So that is one of the things that's waiting. Once I have those tests back, I'll also replace all the trim. I'm going to be doing the same teak trim in here that I'm doing throughout the rest of the house on both the top and bottom sections. So the trim has not been changed out, but the floor has. And I'm really loving this floor. I think it's really beautiful. My area rugs recently arrived, so I have this really nice, it's basically 9x6 area rug. It's super soft and comfy. It adds a lot of warmth to the room, like physically, temperature wise. And I've got my TV stand all set up. Nigel did knock over my TV while I was redoing this room and busted the screen. So I do not currently have a TV. I'm gonna have to get a new one. I am on the lookout for a non-smart TV, so I'll be getting that as soon as I find a good one that's, you know, a good price and things like that. The window has been scrubbed, cleaned, new curtains put up. I think that's all I've really done in here. I will say all the walls and the floor in here, the subfloor, were all painted with Kilz before the new paint and the new floor went down. So that was a big process as well. And the next area I'm going to be finishing up as far as the flooring goes is going to be the entryway. So I'll show you that sometime in the future. The obviously most glaring thing in here is the fact that this table with my small kitchen appliances and this sort of pantry area are currently in the living room. That is because I have not yet started to redo the kitchen. I've cleaned some areas in there and I do use the kitchen sink, but other than that, I have not started in on the kitchen yet, and it's just really foul in there. So I keep all my cooking stuff in the living room for now. I'm really looking forward to being able to get all this stuff back into the kitchen. I am going to start some smaller kitchen projects, like taking out the floor, getting everything painted, cleaning out the pantry. As far as cabinets and the sink and things like that, I am currently saving up for the cabinets that I want. So as soon as I'm able to purchase those, then I can start taking apart the cabinetry and the sink in there. There is a part of the wall in there that also has this same sort of textured stuff going on. And so I, again, am waiting for the asbestos test to come back to see if that is in fact asbestos. But one of the walls in there, I want to actually take out and open up that space. So I also have to just wait and see if I can do that on my own or if I need to go ahead and potentially get some help from a professional to get that asbestos out of there. And then I'll be able to do the larger aspects of the construction side of getting that new kitchen installed. Unfortunately, we've got another flood in the back. All the snow's melting and we've also been getting quite a lot of rain. So it's a lot more water back there again. So I just gotta keep on keeping on and hope that it dries out soon. Our time has come. The seeds are arriving. This is the office, which I also use as kind of a construction zone area. This is the leftover beadboard from my bathroom project. And this is an old dresser that's really beat up from the previous owners. I'm going to be using it just for the tabletop to put my seed trays on. There's a plug behind so I can plug in all my plant lights. But all of my seeds have arrived. I do have some that I had from last year that I'm going to be using, but I was just going to go through kind of what I ordered this year and why. I found some great organic heirloom seed companies in Canada that I wanted to try ordering from this year instead of just seeing what I can find. So I was a bit more intentional. So I've got herbs, greens, veg, flowers. So for herbs, I've got a cilantro. I went ahead and ordered a nettle. I may have some wild nettles out there, but until I know for sure, I did want to have this on hand. I really like nettle pesto and drinking nettle as a tea. I've got holy basil. I've got thyme. I've got Genovese basil, dill, and then this is the other seed company, Revival Seeds, and they are, as it says, open pollinated heirloom company. So I've got blue flax and feverfew. I like making a tincture with feverfew. I will say one thing about feverfew is that it can be invasive, so be kind of careful with it. A little bit like mint, it will take everything over, but it makes a great tincture. So blue flax I am going to be growing for the flowers, but also I'm interested in seeing what it's like to harvest flax seeds and if that's something I might want to do in the future. So as far as greens, I've got 2 batches of freckled lettuce. I've got bok choy, and I also have butter crunch lettuce, which is my favorite. I do have a couple of other green varieties that I'll be planting. I'm just kind of going through and showing you the new seeds that I ordered. So I've got like a lunchbox pepper, picnic pepper mix. I've got a chocolate stripe tomato. I'm really excited. Look how pretty it is. I can't wait to see what that looks like in the garden. I've got the Galena tomatoes. I've been told before that these taste a little bit like, what are the other ones called? Sundrop or Sun, whatever the good ones are that are hybrids. These supposedly have a little bit of a similar kind of thing going, so I'm going to just try them and see. I've got a German striped tomato. I've got a cucumber. That's a pickling cucumber. I've got 2 packages of carrots. I like the Danvers half long, so I got 2 of those. I got 2 Jimmy Nardellos from this company, and then a pink tie-dye Berkeley. I also have Jimmy Nardellos from this company. The reason I did this is because I got Jimmy Nardellos from a completely different seed company last year, and I didn't have a very good germination rate, and the ones that did germinate didn't do very well. Sidebar, nothing did very well because everything was getting eaten by slugs. So that was part of it, but they also just didn't seem to thrive. So I wanted to try a couple different companies and see which ones seemed to do the best in my area. I've got paprika, sweet peppers, golden beets, peaches and creamed corn. My corn also didn't do very well last year, but I'm excited to try again. Tomatillos. A red okra. I also have a green okra already. It's a spineless variety, but I'm going to try this red just because I like things that are like a reddish purple. And then I'm going to do some glass gem corn also. I've heard that it is just absolutely beautiful to watch it grow and then harvest, and I just want to give it a try. As far as flowers go, I've got a black peony poppy. I've got a multicolor yarrow. I thought that'd be fun to see. I've got the apricot lemonade cosmos. I got just some echinacea, Black Prince snapdragon, and then an echinacea mix. Now these are supposed to be a few different colors, so I just think that that will be fun to have besides just the basic purple. Now that I've finished in the living room, I'm going to start an entryway. That's going to look like getting all of this stuff cleared out, getting all the scraps of floor from this piece cleared out, getting this floor completely clean, and getting the other roll of this flooring that I have in my car into the house, rolled out, trimmed, and put all into place. As as you can probably see, there is some water left that's just turned to ice, but the flooding back here is basically gone now, which is super exciting news. That means pretty soon I'm going to be able to go out there and start figuring out the garden and preparing the layout and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited that that flooding back there has finally dissipated.